Good evening and welcome to it. This is the Private Property Podcast where we provide valuable knowledge and information on anything and everything property related. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or just looking for some expert advice, we have got you covered. Tune in every Tuesday, every Thursday at 7 p.m. for tips, insights, and expert advice on burning topics related to property. This podcast is brought to you by Private Property. Remember, you can find your new home on privateproperty.co.za. Welcome to the Private Property Podcast. Tonight's episode, we pay tribute to a phenomenal woman. She's been described as an agent of change who possesses an exceptional entrepreneurial spirit. Her global perspective has carved out a formidable corporate reputation as one of the best business-to-business facilitators in the country. And if that wasn't enough, she's also received numerous awards and accolades for her work. And tonight, she'll be chatting to us about her property journey so far. Joining me in studio, I do have Nomalanga Sithole, who's an entrepreneur, an MC, an inspirational speaker, honey. She's a facilitator, a voiceover artist, an author, and a TV presenter. She's also the founder of The Voice Within. But before we dive into this conversation, remember to comment below, share your thoughts about today's episode, and you can join the conversation by using the hashtag find your new home on privateproperty.co.za and hashtag the Private Property Podcast on social media. We'll be keeping an eye out for your posts, and we may even feature some of your comments on the show. Because this is the Private Property Podcast, where we provide you with valuable information on all things property related. Like I said, a formidable woman joining me here in studio, Nomalanga Sithole, who's with me. Hello.
Hello.
She's doing it already.
Right, the whole voice already. Hello to your viewers, and thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. Listen, your career is like, wow, hectic. Tell me your journey. Just walk me through how Nomalanga has become Nomalanga.
Oh, I love that. 18 years of age, auditioned for a teenage entertainment program called Teen Scene. Did that for 4 years, but also in between working my first corporate job, and that was with Edcon. And we moved on cellular industry, and then ended up in banking. I always wanted to be a banker, but as a 10, I thought it was a sexy job until I got into the bank. I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
It's not your money. You just get to count it, but you don't get to keep
There
it.
you go. Right?
Yeah.
Right, and that's been my journey. And then I left corporate South Africa 2015
Mm-hmm.
to really just follow my heart in terms of the inspirational things I do. So just as a speaker, MC, facilitator, I look after young people's interests as well. I love changing the lives of young people.
Okay, so
That's been my journey.
tell me
That's
more
fine.
about that and the sort of initiatives that you've got going on and, are spearheading at the moment.
So Teen Inspiration is one of them, just literally born out of teenager plus inspiration, Teen Inspiration. 2017, something just hit in my heart, and I was like, young people with the advent of social media are so about how everyone's life is out there projected, and they kind of don't take a step back and say, is this for me? Where's the real me? Where's the authentic me? And they think that's the life they're supposed to aspire for. And I'm like, no, just like you're here doing what you love, what is it that they love? And so I started writing a booklet called Be Authentic, Be Bold, Be You. And 2018, I had the opportunity of launching it at a camp, 45 kids in Gwazi Beach, and 5 days, and it was absolutely amazing. I sat there thinking, oh my God, I just did this,
Yeah.
I've never been a book writer. For me, it was just like, just penning. I've always journaled. My first journaling experience I got at 18, left school, and we're giving each other gifts. I got my first writing book, and I thought, interesting. We used to spray them. I'm showing my age.
You really are, but that's okay.
That's okay. And you've got this book, and you just write whatever it's sprayed. And it had a key thing. So you kind of lock it, and then nobody, and I still have it, right? Didn't use all of it, but that's where my journaling started. And I think years later, it translated into that. Another one is Be You and J. In South Africa, we say, when you say J, it's period. It's
just like. Yeah.
And so just because young people are struggling with, the authenticity, just being confident of who they are, I thought Be You and J. It demands nothing but just being you. And so that's going to be part of my e-commerce store that I'm working on 2023. The other brand under that is Why Not Me. So
Tell me more about that.
So a lot of us get opportunities, but because we're not confident in ourselves, we're like, "Oh, this is too big for me."
Yeah.
What's the quote they say? When your dream doesn't scare you, then it's not big enough, right?
Yeah.
And then something hits and you're like, not me. Why me, right? So the rhetorical is, why not you?
I'm not comfortable with being scared. I'm okay with not being scared. I'm
Right?
okay with like my little dreams, just
No.
like hustling.
No.
I'm fine with that.
Already little for me is like, let's just can that. There's nothing little about what you're doing. You are impacting people around you. So whatever you do in your daily life, it's impact. And so Why Not Me is also going to be part of that. So it's going to be t-shirts, hoodies, caps, all the beautiful stuff you can think of in terms of merchandise. So yeah.
Okay.
That's the journey.
I think, the kind of work that you do, it's, for me, I always love to see people doing vocational work.
Right.
Work that has a purpose, work that is a calling. And I'm curious as to, what it is that drives you. What would make you think, these teenagers don't really know who they are, and let me be the one to go forward and say, wait, guys, I actually have, some tools to give you that are going to help you figure out exactly how to live as authentically as possible, but also create an impact in this world.
So we've all been created for purpose. I know earlier we were chatting here like, do I see a pastor in you? I'm like,
I said, you really do sound like a youth pastor.
Funny enough,
like I'm on fire for the youth.
So somebody reminded me back in the days when I was still a little girl, I was part of the youth team, and they said, "You are my leader." I'm like, "Me leader? I don't remember." But anyway, long story short, I'm so passionate about young people. I never want to see them struggling. A lot of them are struggling with the advent of COVID as well. A lot of mental stress. Parents are also trying to live out their lives through their children, and I'm just like, My mom is a nurse. She tried to get me after school to go to the UK. She said, "Ndana, I'll pay for you. Go for 6 months. Figure it out. If you don't like it, come back."
Yeah.
I have no idea how I wiggled myself out of that, and I was like, nah. So a lot of that for me stems from that, my childhood, my thinking. But yeah, my parents struggled because my mom didn't know what I wanted to be, neither did I. It took a long time to get there. So imagine the kids of today. It's a digital world. Social media is telling them, be this, be that. Society is like, okay, we need these skill sets, the scarce skills, and sometimes it's just not for you. That's not where your passion lies. And so that's my why. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, how do I change the life of one teenager? And I always say, how do we change Africa? One young person at a time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so the book that I've written that I use when I take them through courses is 4 topics: authenticity, confidence, tell your story. As humans, we all have a story to tell. And so during COVID, I wrote a quote that says, "A nugget of your truth can propel somebody else to live out their purpose and their destiny."
Louder! Louder for the people in the back. Right? What?
A nugget of your truth can propel somebody else to live out their purpose and their destiny.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've got to tell our stories. We are humans. We've got a story, no matter how difficult your story is. Somebody will tap into, but if she could do it, I can do it too. And then the last topic is you're a brand. Whatever you project on the outside already has started in the inside. So what are you projecting? Do you understand what you're projecting? Yeah. And so those are the 4 topics and that's my why. How do I change the life of a young person, not just in Africa, but globally?
Love this. I could talk to you about this life stuff forever, but this is the Private Property Podcast, and we do have to talk about property. So I have to ask you about your property journey. Do you own property?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you like super rich? Are you like, you're the super rich, like
I'm
entrepreneur, motivational speaker, like MC, corporate, badass? I was going to use the other B word, right? But I'm not going to.
Yeah. So 2009, thankfully, when I still am fully employed, I bought my first property, 2-bedroom, full bathroom, West Rand of Johannesburg, Radio Corp.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, couldn't stand, beautiful grass. And I was like, yeah, so that was my highlight. First property, whoop, 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 under 30, I think. And
wow.
And then they broke into
Oh no.
But anyway, that was another, it happened, it's life, it's a complex, you move on. And then I think 2 years after that, I was like, I'm thinking I'm loving this property situation, right?
Okay.
Found another property, much bigger, 522 square meters, whoop, whoop, lots of grass and everything. And I thought, yes, so I can keep the two, right?
You seem to be really into grass.
I love it. Something about nature, roll around here. Anyway.
Are you a Taurus?
No.
What's your star sign?
Scorpio.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna manage these two properties, and they're like, Sissy, we need you to be very smart about this. Unfortunately, I had to sell the first property to manage this one. I love property. A few days ago, a friend of mine is looking to buy, I think, her first property. We went show housing, and I was like, oh, like there was a moment.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a while. I need to get back into this, right? And then, I was like, I want to do more property now. Yeah. Let's do property. It's an investment. It's fun.
What advice would you give to someone who's thinking of it? So now you went with your friend to the show house. Obviously, you've done this before.
Yeah.
This is not your first rodeo.
No, but I walked in there and my mouth was literally like this.
On the ground.
I'm like, what is this? What house is looking like? Anyway, so yeah.
So as now an entrepreneur, obviously you did the entertainment thing, you went into corporate, and now you're sort of forging your own path as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as an MC, this, multifaceted person who also doesn't have a date on the 20th of every month. Someone who's like you or in a similar situation or similar circumstances, what would your advice be to them now trying to invest in property?
Especially if it's your first property, please do your research. Please go and look at the houses, because then a week afterwards, my friend is living in a different country, asked me to go have a look. What we saw on the website versus what we saw in real life.
It's like online shopping, like what I ordered versus what I got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even if the furniture was no longer there, it was like chalk and cheese. I'm like, friend, hypo. I'm just like, and I'm videoing this. I'm like, So I get home and she says to me, Norms, no, I think they've showed us the wrong property. So we get onto and we both agreeing, right?
Yeah.
I get
like, this can't be
it. This can't be, this isn't. So we get onto the website. And then what was the killer was like, no, Sissy, I was in that kitchen. Though that blue kitchen is the very kitchen you see, but I tell you chalk and cheese. So the first thing, please go and have a look at the properties. Get excited, but also just hang back until you've viewed quite a number. Because you want to walk in there, and I always say to people, if you don't have to pay to revamp, I think that's the best. If you are just walking in, putting whatever you have in there, you're like, I'm in my property.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What do they call it? Like a lock and go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lock up and go.
Not a fixer-upper. We're not on HTTP.
If you're not thank you. Oh, but let's not go to that.
I love that channel.
And so always check out, I think for me, be settled when you walk into that property. If it speaks to you, take videos, ask them, because they do allow you, the agents allow you. Go home, then go relook and you're like, okay, If you are able to buy off-plan, because they do have show houses, for the off-plan, please go and do that. But also be very careful with the very buildings that come up like mushrooms, right? Because sometimes they're not as strong. So if you go to areas like your, areas that have big spaces, they've obviously, done their time, they're solid. So those are the things you got to look at, versus new, versus the old. Do you have the money to revamp, or do you just lock up and go?
Yeah.
Look at the area where you're living at as well. Yes, it's nice to say, oh my gosh, it's nice, until you look and there's a mall across there, or it's on a major highway. Can you handle the noise?
Yeah.
Can you handle what you're looking outside at, from whatever window, right? And sometimes we think, we'll get it. So the other property we looked at had a swimming pool. We were like, yes. But now your bedroom is next to the swimming pool. So can you imagine anyone coming in from the complex, the noise levels,
Oh my.
Yeah. So have a look
strangers
at those
looking
things.
into my bedroom.
Exactly.
Oh no, honey.
Right. But it's a beautiful property, prime location. Also look at location. What's around you in terms of malls, in terms of eateries, in terms of
amenities, schools, parks, shopping centers.
Access
Do
to
they have your
highways.
favorite shops? Are
go.
you close to how to get to work? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I used to say to my uncle, but it's far. And he used to say, far from where? So if you're driving, happy days. But if you're commuting, Ubering, all of this good stuff, does it fit into your budget? Because we get excited. But like you said, someone like me who doesn't have a 20 ding ding or a 30 ding ding, also look at that. Is it something that you are able to sustain and maintain? And remember HCOM? Some places have gas, from Egoli gas or wherever gas.
Yeah.
Ask those questions. I've learned with this past show house, ask all the necessary questions. Can I convert to gas? Does the complex allow? Do we have a feed of gas? All of those good things. Because
can I put solar in?
There you go.
Can I, if I buy a generator and now the
happens?
complex says, no, you can't use
too
it.
noisy.
Yes, it's too loud. Very sorry.
There you go. And those are the things. Also, if you decide to go standalone, how safe is it? Is there security patrol every day? The other day I was house sitting for a friend of mine, and it was scary, but because it's a standalone house. So remember, standalone houses have more like people are looking, seeing, okay, there's no one here, is there someone here? And they can easily jump on, right? Also look at security. If you've got children, is it secure for my family? Right? If it's me, myself, and I, we can hustle. If someone comes and I'm like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot to consider. Don't jump into it. Take your time. Agents are very good at just, okay, this is where we're at. This is how far much I can give you. You know, if you're able to put down a deposit, whoopee day, you know, because that cuts down the amount of interest you're going to pay, right? 240 months versus 360 months. Have a look at that as well, you know. And also in the area, find out how often houses are being sold. Why are they being sold so quickly? Yeah. And also look at the interest rates that have been going up as well. So have a look at the crime in the area. Is it something you can live in? Even if it is gated, crime is everywhere. Have a look. So always get the stats around the area you're buying. Agents always have that. And another thing I learned, at the back of the property brochures, they give you the transfer percentages. So anything from 0 to 950,000, there's no transfer duty. So have a look at that. Can you afford the high price, but also the transfer duty? So what I used to do when I would buy property is I would cash my leave.
I love how you say that, like every time, hi, I'm Nomalanga, and every time I would buy property, like you're just,
right?
Like, oh, what do I feel like? I feel
You
like
know?
a new house.
Yeah. So if you have leave days and they allow you to cash, I used to cash my leave days, then I'd be able to pay whatever, you know, transfer duties. Yeah. So I never took leave. I would like work. And I'm like, property, 24 days gives me how much? And there you go. Because sometimes you don't get full 100%. They give you 90% or 80% based also on your score. So
credit scores are everything.
So
Pre-approval.
There you go. So please keep your credit scores clean because
how do you keep it clean?
Can we not just have accounts for the sake of having accounts? As a belief. Please. I was a Woolies girl, as a Foshini girl.
I was going to say, not the girl who worked at Edcon stuffing people's statements. Now your mother's owing 4,000.
Girl.
What did you buy?
Exactly. So I've learned, and I'm grateful because I worked in a bank. But still, even if you don't work in a bank, ask your bank, how do I save? How do I keep my credit score up? Because we think we're shopping, and then when you don't pay, that brings your score down.
That messes things up for
messes
you.
Things up. And even if you did, like for me at one point, it was just that Woolies account could have messed up anything I wanted to get on credit. And if you can really just put a big down payment, that would help. Because then at least you're paying less interest. And the last thing, just from a property perspective, whatever extra cash, put it into your home loan because then it reduces your interest rates, right? And then you pay it up quicker. Ta-da!
And then you can be like Nomalanga and be like, oh, I'm done with this property. Where should I buy next? Which is my next question, actually. And my last question.
Yeah.
I win the lotto today. Where are you going to tell me to buy?
3 places for me personally.
Okay.
Cape Town. I went down the Spice route and I was like, oh, the Paarl route. I'm like,
where in Cape Town?
Around the Spice route area.
Franschhoek Paarl.
Yeah, and it was like these huge buildings, old, but lots of land. Because I'm that organic girl. Before organic was organic. My grandmother grew everything under the sun.
You're a traditional girl. We had the garden patches at the back of the house.
Yeah. And then you get your layers, double yolked eggs.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'd like to do if you're that kind of person. Also, I look at places where, I want to go to Tuscany in Italy, girl. Let's do global.
What?
Please Google Tuscany. Look at that.
No, I mean, I've seen it, but I've never imagined in my mind that I'd ever be able to own a house in Italy.
Guys, let's
because I can't even get one right now in North Riding. That's my thing.
You see. So those are the things I'm like, let us expand. Let's go global. So for me, it would be Cape Town. It would be Mulder's Drift because there's beautiful land. Anywhere where there's lots of land. And then as long as you are able to expand as well. Remember, having sectional title versus full title. Full title, you can do anything. It's your property. So have a look at that as well. And then also where there's gated, because like I said, security wherever in the country.
Safety is everything.
Safety. So yeah, those are the 3 areas: Cape Town, Mulder's Drift, and let's go to Italy, darling, Tuscany. Bang.
When I grow up, I want to have Nomalanga's money so that I too can move to Italy.
One day.
When are you going?
Soon. Let's leave it like that. I'll give you an invite and I'm like, my girl, business class, all expenses
That's
paid.
what I'm thinking.
We
Like,
need
do
to
what
live that life. Huh?
Beyonce just did it in Dubai. Let's also do it. When you go, then we'll do a housewarming. We'll
Thank
open
you.
it nicely.
Yes.
It'll be great. We'll bring goats from Africa, slaughter them there, and bless your home.
Nazo.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I think we can talk forever, which is why we'll probably continue this conversation another day and another time.
Love to.
Thank you so much. If people want to reach you for emceeing or speaking or just motivate, you're also a coach.
Yeah.
What kind of coach are you?
Neuro coach, transformational.
What?
Say,
No.
Okay, so
See, this is what you guys do. You take all of your fancy words that you say every day and you expect everyone to know what they mean.
Okay. So neuro, we deal with your subconscious and your conscious.
Okay.
And as a coach, we help you. If you get stuck, the answer's inside of you. I'm not going to tell you go do this. No, you've got the answers inside of you. We just ask the relevant questions. We call it brilliant questions, and just get you thinking out of the box.
So it's hypnotherapy.
No, I'm not hypnotherapy. No. I'm just asking you questions.
You're not hypnotizing me.
No. I could never do hypnosis. Not a chance.
I did it once, but that's a story for another day.
Right. So you can get me on thevoicewithin.co.za.
The Voice Within.
Yeah, .co.za across all socials. Nomalanga Speaks, and also and LinkedIn, Nomalanga Sithole without an H.
Yay! I want you to hypnotize me, but we'll talk about it.
No, I don't. We just have a conversation.
I'm joking. You're going to ask me brilliant questions. If you'd like Nomalanga to ask you some brilliant questions, so you can also buy a house next to hers in Tuscany, Italy, then you know where to find her. Otherwise, thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Private Property Podcast. I'll see you on the next episode. Good night.